Friday market close. We're live on TikTok, and I'm not gonna let them stop me, dude. Just gonna keep fucking. Well, actually, maybe a little bit, but all right. Mindful. What's up, lawnmower? All right, let's go ahead and close this week out. Pretty damn good week. Can't speak for everybody, but uh, I know we had a lot of plays that were on the watch list work out, so it's a nice week to close on. Um, Definitely a puzzling week for me. I spent part of the afternoon today trying to figure out whether I'm seeing things. I almost was about to call TTI and be like, dude, is money gonna be like I don't ever really call on him to, for analysis or anything like that. But I was like, man, where do you see money rotating in tech? Because one of my rules is one, two, three, and there's been one, two, three inside of one, two, three, and closing this week. I kind of seeing especially that crazy wick up at the high and an immediate rejection at 6:30. It's got me puzzled, and it's easy to just, of course, take a candle and think, oh well, over the weekend, something could happen and we gap down, but when I look at the lower time frame, again, I try to see whether we've left areas of I empty space right above us or in balance, and we definitely have. So it's not something I think I need to be impatient on. Little channel here was also held in place, um but it does still have me contemplating where the direction of the market may head in the next couple of months, really, because while the box and there's two sides to this argument, right? There's you can't get up, and then there's also you can't get down. Market doesn't have a blue chew, so it's sitting sideways, and that has me kind of in a position where I have to remain somewhat unbiased. But if the weight overhead keeps, like if we go up and fill that little bit of empty space and we keep rejecting, I'm going to be looking to take a position. Uh, and what I did earlier was kind of look at like, okay, when we're at these levels, right? What do we see, right? When we lose the 624s, where is a common area? And it seems that the most common area of impact is 600, which I know I can't, and I advise you guys to obviously think clearly when do it. If I'm just telling you my perspective as of right now, and this could be mirrored across, or can't be mirrored, excuse me, across SPY and QQQ or IWM, but it is something that I am. Um,
Are you telling us you plan a vacation soon?
there was talk in the family about a cabin really soon, and I feel like without the luxury of maybe the dump is even worse, but there again, there's two sides to this argument. Maybe money, maybe we slow down on IWM and SPY and finally we get a reprieve, right? But we're also seeing semiconductors that are held within the queues ripping ass, and nothing really seeming to show up on this side. So it does have me. I mean, I'll be honest with you, is very rarely, have we ever found ourselves. I think that this is actually really, 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 really similar, right? And we did end up going back up, and there was big moves down. right? And it wasn't until until we lose major levels that we can start saying these things, but it is something that I have in the back of my mind, regardless if it wakes up and it goes and touches right there going into next week, which that's what I'm really thinking is be on your toes. If you're trading the cues next week, there's money to be made, possibly, right? But it is something that, I think when it does go, just like it did before, it's actually uncanny how similar this is to this area over here, right? 4 or 5 times building, sitting up against it, overhead pressure. You had this one little high over here. You fly to it, but once you get into all-time highs, you flat dump. Now, Qs have already tried, but so did they. So again, don't put yourself into a position until it makes sense, until you can have a stop loss that makes sense to you. But we'll discuss this more as we go along. So don't feel like a, you know, sense of anticipation or something of that nature.
Did Hamilton say anything about maybe money rotating into other sectors of the market?
I have not just I don't yeah, I haven't asked him about that. No, I haven't.
Oh, I thought you did. That's why.
No. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have that other Potter page that I made for TikTok, and I posted a video and it got removed. And I remembered, well, hey, I probably have done some shit talking on that profile too. So I started a new one we're just gonna do this one last time. I will never do another TikTok after this shit. Um, but I'm gonna try to go live or try to hop on my own live here. Virtual items of reward update. Oh, I can't. What's that one? Or no, that was old comment. Yeah, we stopped out of that one. So, all right. That one I'll post the link to that one. I'm actually in the stream now. I'll type if you're on TikTok. I'll type the new profile if you want to go follow it. You could be the first person to follow my new profile. Wow. I'm about to comment. All right, there you go. All right. Good afternoon. What's going on? All right, now, so that kind of closes that conversation. The weekly doesn't say anything else, and it's good to step back, right? This is what we're dealing with. So we'll walk along this, I think, going into Monday with that empty space above, it'd be nice to wick that and then maybe give us a better position down, but we'll see. Do I trade futures? No, but a lot of the people in my group do, using my strategy. They seem to enjoy it. I think not a ton of people, but pretty sure Junior got a payout. He said that the other day. That's pretty cool.
Another one. I got 2 this week.
Oh, he's got 2 this week. Yeah, Neil does. We trade a little futures. All right, SPY. This one, obviously, I really can't comment on as far as we're in range, right? Is this not 1, 2, right? You get one little burst right here to kind of give you that 3, but it also came after a huge wave up, huge wave down, and then sideways. So as we have before, right, going into next week, we have the capabilities to make a move. I think looking at the lower time frame, it's not really giving any major clues. On the hourly, there's some possibility, below 691.33, but I think this is something that we can even look into, maybe as we get closer to the end of the day, but even starting next week, unless you want to speculate just on that tension alone. That isn't also entirely up to you. One of the things that I have been watching is this. And if there's any weight to that, right? Kind of like how we did today on QQQ, right? Playing that to the downside. It was literally textbook the same thing, actually. Little channel here. Actually, it's kind of uncanny. This is yeah, right there. And you filled the gap, waked back up, pulled yourself in the channel. It's partially the reason that I think we'll pop up, hit this mark here, and that's kind of what I want to see. And it would, if we're really bearish, we would gap up. But
Hey,
Potter.
Potter,
Tuesday,
I
yeah,
see an
sorry.
overall trend up. How are you? It looks like you're trying to force a downtrend there. I don't know why. If you back out, it's definitely in an uptrend overall.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. But
Okay.
1, 2,
I must have
3,
missed your.
4.
Okay, the taps at the top.
So
Okay.
I'm not like, and we traded it down today, so I'm literally just recapping on that. But
Okay,
my thesis is at the moment is that one of my rules is 1, 2, 3, but one of my other rules is that you have to lose something in order for that to be real. So both of those are true, or one of those is true and the other one is not. We haven't lost anything. Today obviously proves that. So I can't pick a side, but it is something that I am similarly to what happened back
thanks.
here, it could be both ways. So I'm just putting out that as something that I'm looking at. It's like, okay, we've been
Understood.
not even just tapping it, but building up against it and still unable to get up. So it's a curious place to be. Yeah, that's right. Monday market Monday is open, so we got a 3-day weekend. Hallelujah. All right, last one. IWM. It did pull back a little bit today.
Closed there?
Huh?
The market's closed on Monday?
It is, yes. Martin Luther King Day. Yes. All right, so IWM kind of wild actually, held its highs. And if anything, I would start looking at a potential sideways move. Previously in some of these other sessions, we did see when we see weakness on IWM with empty space underneath you, there does end up being a lot of different plays here. If you were speculating on a pullback to 264 or even into the gap with some time, maybe not go straight for Tuesday, but you do have 3 off the top. Again, you have not lost anything, so therefore that is purely speculative, and I don't trade at all-time highs. So if you decide to do something with that, that is entirely up to you. All right, crazy big green candles. So if you're shorting it, you're going heavily against the grain. But 2 big weekly candles is standard issue for the most part. So all right, moving on. If you have anything you would like for me to take a look at going into the weekend, long weekend, go ahead and let me know.
Potter, are you still holding CoreWeave?
No, dude, I'm all out, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it hit my target today, but I don't know if anybody. I walked away before that punchback happened, but man, I did mention that this morning earlier. That 98, 98, 93 broken, and we would likely go and hit that target. If I would have held, that would have been sick. But you know what I did hold? Guess what I held?
What did you hold?
Celsius. Or excuse me, not yes, I have Celsius still, so that's good.
Oh, how many you got? Like 20?
Oh, I just looked at my shares and mistaked it for my options. I was like, oh shit, I have a lot. I only have like 14 left, so
Nice.
yeah, we're on our journey now to 58, folks.
Let's go.
Yeah, shake up a Celsius, baby. You know what though, man? It's so nice to be able to teach something and then watch or have you guys be able to see it, right? The waves, the sideways, and then even if this doesn't continue or doesn't hold, you still see that break of tension. It's just it's good to see. All right.
Yeah.
If you have anything you want me to take a look at, I know fast is on everybody's list as it is moving up and out. Finally, Fasty now, and it does have earnings as well. If you're trading it into that, right, it has been known to rip up into that empty space. It has been known to rip pretty hard, and I have no arguments against this one. Obviously, 44.85 if things are doo-doo. But if everything goes well, 46.58. Hedge wise, there's not really much to go off of here unless you're looking into the 40s or down at the floor at 39. So, where'd that chat go? There it is. All right, let's see here. Can I look at
How much were you-
Indeed? Huh?
How much were you up on your Celsius equity?
18%. 18%.
I bought a bunch. That's like my first real equity purchase. It's already up 32%.
Hot fucking diggity dog, man. It's a beautiful thing. Peyton's dad's mad at me right now because I haven't I've been able to really manage his account. And I was all hyping up Celsius to him and missed adding to his position. So he's like, "What the fuck, man?"
Got to put that.
Yeah, I'm a busy guy sometimes. All right, now. And BTS up. As far as I'm concerned, dude, if you're just getting me to check up on this, I mean, you're good, right? You're in the space that you need to be. I see a wick right here at 1164 that might be turbulent. Then I see 1244, man. You got this. I think he's just showing off at this point. What do you guys think? SMCI. Okay, so I see your box right there. SMCI. Well, hot damn. Yeah, if you were paying attention to that one. Fuck, man. Wait till I have a
Sure,
whole
yeah.
team. Wait till I have a whole team of people managing my shit. Oh my god. That's what I
Someone
really got.
actually called that out, like while it was happening. I remember.
Yeah. So
AJ, that's AJ's stock.
yeah, I see
He
34.
grabbed it again.
34 doll hairs, man. That's excellent. I mean, as long as you close well, which you already are, I expect a continuation. That's a continuation type candle. If things get nasty, it would try and scare the shit out of you by retesting 32. But honestly, with that sort of trajectory, I think that you'd still be on your way. So, I mean, honestly, with all that empty space up there, we look at 40, 48.
It's got a lot of short interest.
Yeah, that is also going to help the fuel. All right, so let's keep moving here. Trying to get through all these requests. Mike, we got a lot, so try and make this quick. It's 3:25. Okay. Microsoft doesn't have anything on the 24-hour other than one green candle. That one green candle is coming off of the only little bit of structure that you have over here to your left, which I'm not even going to bother put a box around it because it's not really one of that. All right, it's forcing me to do it. Never mind. Hot dog water right there. It is what it is. There we go. Okay, so cost base. Candle close. So you're still getting crimped down, right? Still getting held down underneath that. You do have, decent empty space to the upside. John, I'm assuming you're looking at this like long term to the upside. Is that what you're looking? Okay. For ET. For earnings? ER, got it. Long-term investment. I think everything that I would say here is reactionary, no? Right? Because it would be a 24-hour box, that needs to be reclaimed. kind of would have liked to seen a little bit more of a jump. However, it is trying. In fact, this actually should be pretty useful. That previous top, motherfucker. That previous top right there, right? That's kind of actually, I think that's today's high. Yeah, it is actually today's high. So today's high would obviously be something to gap up on, and the first target would be 472. Upon that, you would be looking for a 24-hour punchback, and then is there some semblance of a? Okay, so that's definitely a real thing. You see the points of contact in there. And so this is weird, obviously, but what happens is you get a mouth and then it almost like recreates it. So you know that might be the most bullish scenario. However, it could be maybe that you afford just because you haven't gotten that. So going into ER above 464 would definitely be a good start. Fast, you got the check mark on that one. TSSI. Oh, you did that? Yo, good job, man. Brother. Abdul, fuck yes, or heck yeah. Sorry. Damn. Yeah, you nabbed that and then it went and hit the 50% mark on the dot. I love this shit. I don't even know how, I mean, people are just that's fucking dude. Smells like an independent trade to me, man. That's my drug. What? All right, what am I doing here? Tesla up? Oh my god, dude. You gotta have a crystal ball at this point. It's actually not that difficult. Tesla goes up, right? When Tesla can get the hell back up above literally the wicks that it's created off the weekly top. Now, even with that happening, you'll notice that there's a gap at the previous wick. So if I would say this, if this, then that, right? And that's on the weekly, strongest level there is. Well, not really.
That's what I was looking at.
Right. So then it would be 465 potentially. But I note the lack of empty space. If the contracts are cheap, it could be worth it. But this looks like
475s are only $50.
might work out. Yeah, maybe a little curl back up. That'd be your third time back up here. You're inside of this range. All you, man. Ah, man, I don't even remember charting that one. If I helped you on that one, dude, I don't even remember. I'm gonna be honest with you. So weird. It just switches. Arabian at 17. Oh Lord. The bottom. I'm looking for a retest off of 1591. Hedges are soothing the burn. All right, let's see here. Iran ripped today. Oops. It did. Look at that. It's so cool to see the analysis play out, even when I'm not in it. Just to know that you guys, somebody's catching that shit, man. That shit gets me all jacked up. Also, one day I might hire you guys. Come work at the firm with Poppy. I should put my headquarters in like Nebraska or some crazy shit like that. Yeah, wow. Not bad, man. Not bad. All right, ABB down. Oh, are you still I didn't know if you were just yeah, it definitely still has a little. I mean, obviously it's not as clear anymore. That was the empty space that I talked about. So from now it's you got to build. You got to find what's underneath you. I see that right there. So I'd say the wick from today, your low of today is that guard. Oh my god. ABBV down. Oh, okay, so you got a Wix went coming in 210, but 208 looks like the target down. No, tighten it up 209.62. I mean, makes me nervous, but I'm not trading it. I have my own, but I mean, no, I mean it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. 3 rejections off the top. I get spooked around fucking health stocks or pharmaceutical stocks. If you're charting on the weekly and marking your entry on the weekly, then you're also looking for a weekly candle close. Is that when you start moving to a lower time frame once you found your trade on the higher time frame? Cruise on, you nailed it. Right? So if I say I see a weekly setup, then I need a weekly candle close. But if I go to the lower time frame and I can find a setup to take that same trade, settling for a 24-hour candle close, right? And remember, that doesn't, if it happens on a Tuesday, then you're liable to retest on Wednesday. So you should have the expiration for that. But, it's possible to take those trades. But on Fridays, right, at midday, you can start looking at how candles are closing on the weekly. And those are especially useful on equity purchases. Rivian, right now, just to be clear here, it is... one thing that I really, really like, and I know you guys know exactly what I'm going to say, is how fast we're falling. It doesn't feel good, but listen, I'm not here for the feel good for now. And while this was delicious, and there's still just a little bit left, there's definitely more to be had on this one. So, again, you don't have to, if you find yourself in a place where you can get out, or, just go ahead and look for a reentry, by all means, be my guest. There are still some liabilities down below us. I'm thinking we're likely going to see the 1585s, 1560s, possibly even 1510. My hope is that we don't lose any of that, because that would mean we're probably going to go to 13. And if we did, I know it wouldn't be our favorite, but it would still be in trend. Okay. FSLR. Oh, wait, hold on. I skipped a bunch. CNC. All right, I'm doing one at a time, so I'll do the next one first. CNC put. You're rejecting something off of its maybe me. So you're playing the rejection off of the imbalance, right? And I mean, that's certainly something to look at for sure. Let's see here. 2 rejections off the top. So I would say right here, utilizing this box, which you still have to punch down through, you would be saying that anything back up above you, especially with a gap, anything back up above 46.42 is no short. Anything below that, you have 44.83, and then, maybe you get the full retest, but trajectory is up. QUBT. Yeah, and if you ever have a setup that's on the weekly or, on a specific time frame, it really helps me, if you guys let me know, day trade, lower time frame. That way I'm not, giving you analysis that you don't care about. Slovenia. So I see a lot of wicks on the weekly right around this area, like at this area, actually, to be exact. So I mean, it doesn't leave a lot of like clear empty space on the weekly, and the 24-hour obviously comes with its own set of battles. Now I have no arguments about trying to take this anywhere above 1365, but you're not there yet. You are, however, above this mark, which is what's holding you up, but you're having trouble even really making your way. So it's past that wick right there. And then over there, and I guess you'd have to weigh the risk to reward on that one. The wish to award. Funny enough, you know what's always cool is to come back to your analysis and see it hold. Like I don't even remember. Maybe I did look at it this morning. I don't remember because I got short-term memory loss. But it is cool to see the 24-hour time frame, right? Show the floor being held. So I think the message here is clear, right? You've got a floor, you know where you need to hold. That's 1825. Anything underneath that is susceptible to falling, but you do need a candle close open 2081 in order to continue moving, same as before. You could count the imbalance in that wick now as 22 is a potential resistance, but it's over 23 that this play gets started. So, or not get started, but moves. Man, I cannot tell you how many stocks we talked about that last week that I mean almost to the penny when hit these targets. ANTC down to 48. Let's see. I'm going, guys. AMD up. Oh my god. Don't chase your. Don't. Hopefully, you're not chasing on that one. I know that one, dude. That one's ripped. I've actually got out of that play recently. That was a tremendous play. What in God's name is this? I mean, maybe it's really Intel's time to shine, but that is a monthly cost basis. That's big. So obviously, $50 is it, right? $50 on the weekly, and it's going to be $50 on the 24-hour time frame for continuation to the upside. Now, pulling back, right? It's important to note, right, how we're falling. We got a little bit of energy base up there, but mostly we're just retesting this 46.91, which would more than likely lead us down here to 46.63. That is empty. So if that's where you're looking to the downside, there's also some holes in that, right? Where there's kind of a gap here, some more empty space there. So again, it's against the grain, but a reasonable resistance to look for resistance. SLR. I feel like I'm brining my eyes in lemon juice right now. What is happening on this chart? Fucking curious, man. I really can't. I gotta keep it 100 on this one. That the only level the only time frame that's gonna make sense here to me is the monthly, and it's this level right here that you had to break from, and it's that level that you're retesting and now losing with what is only perceivable as empty space on the monthly down to that target. So you're brave for sure. Oh, you look at the upside? Oh, for a gap fill. I'm tripping balls. I'm sorry. If you can reclaim the floor 250-50 on the 2-hour time frame, then yeah, sorry. That chart is I mean, it is empty space. I'll give you that. Boy, look at that, dude. Look. Oh, and you know what's the trash about this? That's all empty space. Oh, I just can't do it. I need more volume. Sorry. I put that stock in its place. You got to be ruthless with these stocks, folks, because they will be ruthless with you. That was a bar. Holy hell, what's happening right now, guys? What are we doing to this? AR up? John, you always be giving me the hardest things to look at, dude. Pause. All right, you know what? I quit. I really got to quit. We got to shut this whole thing down.
I just took 35 calls on AR for a month out.
You guys are wild. What do you? I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to explain to me what you see. Hold on, maybe I'm missing some. Okay, that's what I'm missing. So I'm looking at the weekly, and I'm like, you know, with the wick right there, the 24-hour. Yeah, I can see that. This thing needs some grease in its knees, dude. Move like that. So I mean, I can see this, you know. So if it can pop up and get over 33, you know, you'll start dealing with whatever this dinosaur is over here to the left. Yeah, that's what you wicked off of. That's 3350, and then you got class bases, which kind of seems like it's already been punched through. So it would be these two targets at 34, and then there's a little bit of empty space up to 3650. SMCI, for me, those are the ones that I just, if I didn't catch it, I didn't get it. And I know there's continuation. I mean, it would have to kind of be nice if I caught it. It's kind of how I felt about snow today. I saw that setup and had an alert go off, just couldn't catch it in time. So look on the 24. Oh, you just that, yeah. I mean, I still have, you know, some. Oh, you know what? That right there, same cage. You know, when there's no empty space, you know, I get a little scared sometimes. All right, AVGO, let's hurry up.
Boy.
I get a little scared sometimes. So, same analysis, same stock, 360 has to go. When you do, it looks good. If you don't, you're cooked. 355 was a previous rejection point. You haven't really lost anything. You filled the gap here this morning. You did not fill the gap down below there or there. I think on the 4-hour, right? It looks pretty good. Now, it concerns me it took you 3 candles to go and touch one price target that was, you know, not that far away from you. So I think at this point, it's a matter of juice. You got to have it. And of course, it's not like it's a mystery on where this goes and likely breaks. You know, and I suppose some of the gaps aren't always a big deal for it, right? It doesn't always come back and fill those, so it's not like those are anchors on its price action. But as far as being above 350 or being, you know, above 349 even, those things look pretty good. So how much do I spend on every swing play? If I'm full size risk, recently it's changed. It's about 3,800 4K. And that's like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, you know, in the moment. But I also don't always do that because it's a little fresh for Poppy. And I get scared sometimes. Every time you move up in risk, dude, you move up in butt cheek strength, dude, because you be clinching. I'm telling you. See, that's just things that normal stock people don't say, I think. That might be the issue. Okay, so that previous cost base is at 2217. You got to deal with it. You get good analysis though. 2217 floor, kind of hot dog water, but it looks like it's 2221. 4-hour time frame. Okay, that might make this a little bit easier. Shabbat. If you're spending $30 to $40 on a play, you're trying to build a small account. Period. Which is understandable. If I was 20 years old and I had this system, and obviously with the experience that I do now, if I was like, working whatever bullshit job again and, only had $100 to spare, I would keep cracking with 100, right? Just accept like, the first year or two, this is where I'm gonna be, I'm not gonna spend money on dumb shit. This is something I'm looking to, focus on. And I would, $100 account anytime I'd hit 1K, knowing what I know now, put that shit aside. And I keep doing that. And then at some point, right, when you feel, and this is where you say it does. When you see something and it breaks over your trigger, it goes to your target. That's when you feel confident about that. There's not like this weird, that's when you can start looking to size up on your plays. I mean, I know this sounds like I'm in a movie, but it's like you kind of know, you feel confident in what you're doing, and you're like, it only seems reasonable at that point. Like, dude, I know what I'm doing, man. Let me size the fuck up. So, yeah, there's no shame in trading with a little bit of money at all. But I think when your life adds on risk, like when you got kids or a business and other things like that, that's why I'm saying if I was young, again, you know what I mean? Bro, I was losing money all the time on dumb shit. I can't even tell you. Jorge, tell you. Tell him, Jorge. How much does Jorts cost?
150, man.
Damn!
Designer Amiris, bro. Stupid
Ah!
shit.
They look fresh though, right? They look fresh.
All right, we got 11 minutes to swing something for Tuesday.
Squeaky clean pimping.
Man,
Stay
why can't we just call it a week, man? Just have a good time.
Yeah, my adrenaline's flowing.
He's on the hunt. I'm looking. We're obviously if I see something, I light up like a Christmas tree, my boy. Oh my!
See something, say something.
If you see something, say something. That's right. If not, you're a communist.
I need it.
Oh, forget all that. I mean stocks, bro.
Oh, you don't remember if you see something? That was like the whole thing back in the day. If you knew anyway. All right, let's see here. I mean, you got a good build, but you have to go and recover the floor of 73.77 and break 75.90 with that wick up above you. That's all you need to know. So I think a candle close a little bit more confidently outside of, you look at the 4 hour, it's kind of, you could look at the downside almost in the same fashion if it loses 66.32. So, all right, 10 minutes here. SoFi. I can't call for nothing but the floor, man. That thing is a trampoline. If you wanted to try to take it further, obviously this is the kind of candle close that you want to see to take it, right? You want to see an effort to recover, and that effort is stifled. And then when it gets to the floor, it doesn't respond. It's dead. So I say yes, but I also say there is barbed wire all up underneath you. So make sure you got expiration protection. It's heavy. You can't. There ain't no denying it, man. Some part of me that makes my toes want to pop out. You got 4 fatty rejections right there, 2 major overhead rejections. You look at the weekly time frame and you flip that mother upside down, and you got a juicy box right there. So, oh my God, I just convinced myself. No! No! Somebody's got to stop me. I need Elon's Neuralink in my brain to zap me every time I do some. I got to see how much it costs first. What is the cost?
Full
What-
port. IV full port.
Cow.
How much? How many pints of blood will this require? What is this? What is the cost?
Doesn't cost blood.
Yeah, but aren't we so? I mean, debt's rising. You know what I mean in America. I feel like SoFi's doing well. Business is booming.
That's what I said about a firm last year. I'm like, there's nowhere for a firm to go but up.
Yeah,
when
you're
everyone's
right.
going into a recession.
I mean, but that could this could have been it pricing it already in because when it ripped, what was it ripping on?
True.
Nobody knows. Who knows? I don't know.
We invest in Klarna.
Klarna? I think that's already
Klarna?
isn't that on the market? Yo, these are fucking. Oh, sorry, excuse my language. Bro. So the first and most logical target is $22, which I mean, they're dirt cheap for what they are, and you can go out, motherfucking middle of. It's 25, and if we can get a dumpy, it's 22. Bro, that shit had me in a headspin. All right, do what you want to do. What you wish with that information. I gotta check. I know. You know what? If I get my ass handed to me, it's my fault because I dipping my foot in the same bucket and I'm taking it
Full
before
port.
it's. Hey, this guy says full port. Okay. Jeez. Oh no! Whoa! Holy shit! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Possible short weekly?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Look even further left.
Oh,
It gets crazy.
what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what the.
Damn! Whatever solution they were offering back then.
Are we taking
Didn't
this to
solve
the
it.
moon?
No,
Hell
oh
yeah.
my fucking god. See, this is where empty space gets out of
Get
control.
ready.
Get ready for liftoff,
Yeah,
boys.
dude.
Are they supplying ice right now? Because if they're not, dude, I don't know.
Is that a CPI play?
I'm in equity on this.
Jesus Christ, are you buying us all houses? No, I'm just kidding. That is wow.
I've been in some $30.
$30. All right. Jesus, Mr. Grey Poupon. His pinky's up when he said that. That is wow, impressive.
It was.
It was. We. What do you guys want me to say? You just want me to tell us. You just want me to say it's going to keep ripping. I see 145.
Well, I'm looking for it to come back down to like $100 and retest.
I say 119, man, would be a really powerful level to come and hang out on. If you look at that on the weekly, that would be a great place to bounce. So,
Okay.
all right, one more hit of AVGO for Chad. Just one more hit, man, please.
you already looked at it.
I did it. There, did it.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
About it.
I think I
But
just
I had
looked
a
at it.
question about how far out of SoFi you would. I was thinking like 3 weeks, like February 6th. Is that too far?
You're pushing your limit, my boy. I took February 20th.
Yes, February 6th is good.
Yeah, I guess he just wants you to pump his contracts. I took the 20th of February.
What,
That-
the 25 or the 22s? 22s then, right?
22s.
25 first.
Yeah. 22. I can't read that ticker. Why not? We should have stopped drinking fucking espresso so long ago. AA.
Hey, you know, Potter, earnings is between the 30th and the 6th on SoFi.
Right. Interesting. Okay. We'll see where it goes before then. It starts dumping crazy. All right. This to me looks like it's going to give you a wide fluctuation in price. That is exactly what these type of this right here. You build a little base. It's tough to spot these type of things. Sometimes there's little baby context clues like that, but I don't have any structure, right? I don't, and neither do you. So the only floor I see right now is 58. The only place I see in between there is because it's a range, the inbound or the 50% mark, which is 59.80. So both of those break, and you should be able to go and fill for that gap. Now that being said, that right there tells me there will be more than likely a channel. I could find it. I'm going to find it. Watch this. Ugh, I think that's it. Oh my God, dude. Sometimes I make my feel thick. Look at that right there. 56.87. That's the gap fill. So if it continues further, that might be your wide fluctuation in price. ACHR. I give up. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. That's enough. I've had enough. Give it to
Got a bunch
somebody.
of wicks.
Yeah, dude. I'm not a wick guy. You know what I mean? I'm more of a body guy, more of a candle body guy. And
It's like playing on a trampoline.
you know what? I've had more fun on real trampolines. This one's like trampoline with rocks on it. Like rocks. And it's wet. So the rocks like slingshot in your eyes. Hi. That looks cute. You know, sometimes my wife just comes in here and just fucking stares at me with like kind of like I did something wrong look. Makes me nervous. Women in here, do you guys do that to your man? Like what's the tactic for that?
Makes you uncomfortable.
Is it just a power thing?
Obedience.
That way we
Oh,
can let them know we love them.
it's that way we can let them know that yes, they love us. Target actually looks good. Hi, baby girl. Good to see you. I gotta hurry up. We only have
Yes,
2
it
minutes,
does.
okay? Yes. I'll be out in a second. We can play Rocket League when I get done with work, okay? Damn, you just made it seem like I never hang out. Yes, why you never play? So, not a big fan of that one because it did wake off of 2670. So, looks like there's a retest coming at 22. You gonna try to understand what I'm doing or no? Okay, 2244 would be a retest level underneath us. Touch the wicks. Do I want to learn how to drape dresses? Sure. Sure, I do. I think the whole group does. Because if I have to do it, everybody does. Yo, whoa, that is actually incredibly tight consolidation. Wow. Okay. Fuck. I'm trying to do this fast, but it is time to go. I see a move up to 55.50. 55.50. All right, really quickly, we're going to take a peek at our ETS before I finish this analysis. So we are closing with a 24-hour minorly red, right? I'm just going to throw this out there. It either can be something like this, right? But it's not always, it's, again, what's underneath us. When I look at what's underneath us on the 24-hour, is this, hold on, we're going to have a learning moment here. Is this clean, empty space? Is 2 candles sitting next to each other empty space? Not really. No, right? Because it's 2 candles opening up in range, which means there's some sense of structure there. That is for sure. That is for sure, right? It's expansion candles that we're looking for that define empty space. So the way that I would assume just by looking at this, the 4-hour, and I would assume correctly, is where any sort of playing IWM is going to happen, right? Because it's probably going to give you, well, it is going to give you some of your most foolproof levels here. These 2 right here are going to be of the utmost importance. So I don't really see anything huge. I'm getting out of an order. I keep holding on. Hope for stars. Yeah, let me talk about that in just a second. So anyway, again, you're free to speculate if you'd like to. It's not the cleanest empty space, which means that Tuesday swinging into Tuesday could be a bit of a rocky thing. So if you see something further, right? If you're like, well, I see empty space, dude, all the way down here. Well, guess what? You got to work through structure to get there. And it's, you know, again, we're not adding by day because it's on the ETF. You still kind of have to look at a potential, and this is the 4 hour, but it's still close enough to the higher time, or it is a higher time frame, so gotta abide. All right, SPY, let's see how that's closing. So just heavy, right? And obviously I think I said this earlier, if we do it continue pushing down, which it does look like we closed the day by rejecting off of 693.60. So I see a downside target potentially over the weekend, maybe to 688, starting off, maybe potentially starting off the weekend that way. Again, I'm giving speculative targets. There is no, so regardless of what targets that can happen, we are in range. Period. End of story. And so there is no 24-hour higher time frame setup like the one that we took on Celsius, like the one that we took on CRWV, right? We don't have that. So if you're playing, you're probably playing because you can, not because you're trying to change your life. All right, last one, and the subject of all of my conspiracy theories. I'm about to slap a tinfoil hat on. Actually, after what I saw happen in Venezuela, shit, them tinfoil hat people were ahead of their time. Melt your brain. But that being said, there is at the start of the stream, the multitude of rejections, right? All around the same area. And of course, you know, Chad mentioned, and he is correct, you know, there has been higher highs, but and this is my argument to both sides, right? Let's actually, I can put this probably into analogy, right? That'll make sense. And this is why I'm thinking the way that I am, that God damn it, a move has got to happen at minimum next week. We have one, maybe a line, right? That's where sellers hold. Okay? That's their battleground. That's where their defenses are. We can't let price pass this. Buyers, obviously with the intentions of breaking that, try one, right? And this is actually after losing what they had gained. They go back and they regroup, right? And they do a great deal of regrouping. They punch through, they grab the volume they left behind, and they fail. Sellers win. We pull back again. We built a base over here. We retest, we collect. We try again. We can't even get it up. And we immediately fall. So we come back and we consolidate. Once again, making a tighter, right, uptrend. We go up, we fail. We stay up, we fail. We go up, we fail. We fail, we fail, we fail. Who's also failing at this same time right now as I speak? Sellers are, because every other time they got them below a floor. They got them below something so that price could recede further. So you might see the source of my anxiety when I describe it that way. I know there's a bag within this, but obviously I don't want to be on the wrong side, just like anybody else. And when I look inside of said range, right, expecting clarity, I get more confusion. We popped out, we punched down. Now we're operating inside of the heart of the box that that doesn't have any rules anymore, right? Because we did break out, we did punch down, we thus invalidated the box. Therefore, if we wanted to go short, we'd need to lose that floor. So I'm all twisted up.
Garrett.
Yeah.
So the drops on each one of those, where it moves down fast, goes back up, moves down fast, moves back up. And now how strong? It's not how strong an area is that? So do you count that as like open space? Like on a down. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the strength of those moves. You know what I mean?
Like in
is it
here,
gonna bounce off of those? Is it going to have a more tendency to bounce off of those, or I'm just kind of wondering about them, because you see it on like when they're going down, and you have up moves and up moves and up moves, and then they come right back down on the other side of like you're going up.
I see what you're saying. So would we experience, say, if we fell flat over the on Tuesday, would we experience a bounce at 615.25? You're damn straight, right? If it falls fast and it goes to something that doesn't have a box that you can sink into and shoot through, right? Because that's kind of what helps you continue the propulsion. And so therefore, as you can see in similar other areas, when it's flat, right, it still goes up and it still goes and tries to achieve, it gives it the opportunity to retest. So if we move down quick, would we retest up here, right back where we started, thus stopping out any shorter expiration contracts? Yeah, probably. Right? Now, if we build and we kind of do this bullshit, then I'd feel better, right, about not going. The more chop we put up in front of us or above us, the better I feel. Or that's especially why I like taking punch downs. It's once they flushed and we're underneath the box, it feels a lot better, because then at that point I kind of know where that recovery can likely happen. But anyway, you know, yeah, here, and it's not until you see, you know, or you have some sort of, you know, really
those down, they don't hold as much strength as a box, though. If there was a box there, you know what I mean?
So they
The
just
difference between that and a box. I guess that's what I'm asking.
So it's almost like looking at SoFi, right? And saying, well, there's not any boxes. There was a box here, but you know, how much volume could that contain, right? You come down and you test this very same level. You've actually punched through it. But that one singular price, right? A singular price without a box can still have a tremendous amount of strength. A box can act like a catalyst, right? Or even something to trade to. But having no box there means there's no necessarily a trigger that will keep you moving in that direction. And so on any time frame, if you see just a candle bouncing off a level, it's probably going to do the same thing. When it does, right, and how you react off of that, you know, determines on whether maybe it can continue, like we saw with the Qs this morning. So I mean, I take them, you know, if I'm trading down, like, you know, if you guys just took SoFi with me, if we hit that, right, not a box, just a floor, great responses coming off of that exact same price mark, do I expect it to bounce, right, if it falls fast? Yes, right? If it goes up and it wicks and retests, fine. But that's the whole point of trying to take it, right, with having the stop loss as my floor. But these levels like these is why SoFi can be so concerning, or a stock that holds a singular floor, because it doesn't necessarily give you a punch down. You're not getting okay, we closed below the top of the box. Okay, now we've closed below cost basis. It's not even reliable enough sometimes to take on a like hourly candle close below it. Like if you find yourself at the level underneath that singular floor, you're still liable to, like, as you did here, right, off of this one, you ended up pulling yourself right back up. So I don't want to say that they don't have strength, but they will respond.
Those would be wicks or something.
Yeah, a lot of those would be wicks. Some of those would be bodies. Yeah. But I mean, and if anything, right, what we really are seeing, and this is something that, you know, I don't think I emphasize enough, but like the weekly time frame, y'all, is, I mean, if you can find clarity there, that's the blueprint, right? Because it's those price points. Like, why do we expect SoFi to bounce there? Well, fuck, now it's clear. You know what I mean? Now I can see it. Body candle close, wick, body candle close. So. All right.
Yeah, I think I understand that a little better now.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Did I look at everything, guys? Did I miss any stonks? What did Apple do today?
So what are you going to do about this whole QQQ situation?
It's funny you should ask.
I was just looking at it too.
You know, earlier today I stopped myself from taking. Yeah, well, I was getting caught up in the idea, right, that I'm explaining to you now. But as I went to start looking at the contracts, I start saying, well, where's my stop loss? That's where I struggled. And that's what reminded me that I'm in the wrong place to be making assumptions when nothing's been lost.
Or
and I
gained.
can't. Yeah, exactly. And like, I think the fear there that would lead me into taking a heavier. Now, I'm not saying I didn't take a little speculative trade, but as far as taking a position with that in mind, the only reason that I think I initially was like, well, I need to do this is because of how tense it was, and I'm like, well, then something's got to happen over the weekend. But I don't have any fucking proof of that. And typically, if something's going to happen over the weekend, we're going to see that as we close towards the end of the day. You're going to hit floors and you're not going to respond. And I've seen that, and that's what I had to remind myself earlier: is price will show me. Price will show me, and if I'm wrong and I miss it, then I'm fucking wrong, and I guess I missed it. But I can't take it off of the fear of not being in the right place or being able to catch it. I have to abide by my rules. So yeah, a little discipline reminder for myself. Does pen still look on?
Depends what you're on.
Yeah, it depends on what you're on. Yes, and we're getting close to saying no. Now, I'm banking on this floor bouncing, y'all. And I again trying to manage my position both to the up and the downside. But if this punch down does occur, I think the benefit here is that we dumped so hard. And that right there is enough. Yeah, that's enough to really. I bring forth Nike.
I was just
Like
gonna
a-
say, do you
like
think
a
he's
fucking-
filming for earnings? Because
like a-
earnings is literally February 13th.
Yeah, it did. And that could be the case, but it's that pullback, right? Just like a fucking arrow or a slingshot that slingshots you forward. And so it actually, to my point, to my point, take a look at this, right? You build nice consolidation. Pay attention to that candle, right? Outside of this close, but not outside of these, right? Just up against that wick, it looked pretty damn good, save for the no empty space up above you, right? The next day, you wick up, you touch that high, and you immediately come back down in reverse. And you keep going. You keep going. You dip into the new lows. And I look at Pinterest, and I could paint the same picture, right? I don't need that uptrend. Up at the highs, down on that floor, do some wickage. So if you got to reposition yourself, obviously you can't do that now. And let's see what Monday brings, right? Or Tuesday. But if that ends up being the case, and we get two off of the bottom with empty space up above us, I'm going to do what the good Lord intended me to do and run full speed ahead. Oh my God, dude.
Was waiting
So
for
you
that
say
bounce.
you're
Let's
saying
see
it
if
needs to
reacts
gap up
before.
above that floor right there, or
Gap
in
up?
the middle of that?
It,
Yeah,
it
gap
no,
up
we
above
don't.
that floor.
We don't need a gap up. In fact,
Bounce at that floor.
yeah,
We don't need no gaps underneath us.
yeah. Honestly, the worst thing that could happen to us as you're falling is a gap up. Just a little lesson for everybody. In a bear market, that's the best thing that could happen. I think you guys saw a good example of that today, right? On the Qs.
And then gap up to resistance and then
Yep.
pull back down.
Exactly. So you have the gap up in a downtrend that serves, it's like gapping down in an uptrend. Counterintuitive, but really the sauce, because I bring forth A and D. I feel like I'm fucking talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now. I choose. But same thing here, right? We talked about this. It was on Friday, first week of January, right? I said, well, we got to look out for this floor over here, that $200 mark. And that morning, I was like, dude, look, it gapped down. Now it has a gap to fill and empty space, and it has. You got to. Sometimes it's hard to remember and I don't want to say stupid, but like they don't know, or people like follow. So like a gap down in an inexperienced person's eyes is bearish.
Terrible. It's terrible.
It's
the worst thing
terrible.
that could
It's the
happen.
worst thing that can happen. And it's like it takes, a year of getting whipped in half, for them to be like, wait, hold on. I think I think gaps get filled. And it's just this one, the gap. See, it's so fucking cool having rules. Like if you've taken the workshop, my rule book as far as gaps, Manny has a 3% rule, which, typically if you gap up 3%, period, you're probably above something. But I'll argue that, in some senses, because, a play on Tesla, I always remember this one because it was one of the first gap trades where I told people that morning, I was like, it is up against a fat wall. There is no gapping going up here. That you got to come back down to get volume to move through a box that we spent 2 months building. There's no way. And it did. It immediately fell. And I mean, immediately fell. So it's like, yeah, those type of, but it's so cool to have an actual blueprint, you know what I mean? To be able to say, gap down to floor or gap down to above cost basis, that's a gap and go scenario. If there's a gap up above a box, that's a gap and go scenario. If there's a gap up under cost basis, but on a floor, it's cost basis only, right? There's no guarantees beyond that. You could go hit cost basis, come back down to the floor. But anyway, the gaps can act like
I always
slingshots.
thought gaps were like they're stealing something from somebody.
No, I mean, kind of actually, if you think about it, overnight they stole some of our grandparents' retirement fund, I guess, maybe a little bit. It goes right back up though.
Old AMD all the way up to
No, man,
230
listen,
or what-
I wish I could be that cool right now and just be like, yeah, guys, nah, I didn't, man.
Aura. That would have been the Aura for sure.
Damn, I missed the aura farming.
Well, you did it on CoreWeave, dude. Honestly, I know you sat there and like you even said something about it, like, oh, while everybody's showing off their gains, this dude has his whole position still.
Yeah. I mean, with
I'm like, this motherfucker.
with AMD, I said, and this is sometimes I'm a hard-headed individual not even hard-headed, but like I've gotten so repetitious now with this. I said here. That's what I said.
Yeah, but,
And
that
when I
is what it is, though. That's
yeah,
the money. It's like,
I said, all right, let's get it to here. If we can get to there, then we can look maybe. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know if it would get all the way over there. I woke up that morning. I was like, I jumped the fuck out of bed. No espresso needed. I didn't wake up and scroll. I was like, let's get dressed, bro. I get the computer. I gotta go stare at this chart closer. But no, I mean, I wish I could say I held, but the plan that I set out to accomplish was the one that I did, and I didn't have a plan for beyond that. So could have made one, but we're not perfect, are we? Clip this gap chatter. It's clipped, baby. But yeah, gaps can act like slingshots. And that's literally what this was to me verbatim. Is you gap down basically to a floor or to a area that has a volume, and again, the premise going into that day having gapped down a lot of the times is bearish, and there will be attempts oftentimes, and most of the time when you gap down, one of the first moves you'll see before the rip is a dip. This gives them what they want and then takes it away immediately.
Just
And
like in a
this
downplay, usually there's a wake up like Palantir today, whipped up, fucking pulled right back down.
It pulled right back down. Exactly. Usually the first move, it's one of the things that kind of made me move away from scalping. You know what I mean? And more into like, I think I like the day trading, because it's like with the day trading perspective, I'm willing to wait for that move to happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm out on the higher time frame, and all of this can be done, and so you can still scalp. So I still find myself in those scenarios. But what that does is by gapping down, giving them what they want, whipping down to literally 200 and 199.84, and it's that pre-market box. You punch through the box, you go for the gap fill, and at that point, it doesn't stop. because that is initiating a squeeze. And there's institutions aren't stupid. Like there's a lot of things that just happen naturally. Like, of course, you're going to have a lot of money chasing these big green candles, which thus squeezes more people out, and that ball keeps rolling. So, and what you'll notice here is it never closed back down underneath what it broke out from. It just simply retested. And everything that would have happened over, basically during the day happened overnight, So empty space got filled. The same wicks responded where they normally respond. You stopped in the empty space right there, right where everything is always true. It's the shit. But I traded for the last 4 years and never wanted a mentor. I watch you when the markets are unsure. You have great analysis every time. So cool you do this for free, man. Worth millions. That's fucking dope. Muffin Magnet. Also, very cool name. Muffin Magnet. You know when they say you die, your life flashes before your eyes? All of these things that are happening right now, I have to live them again. The big booty version of me, I'm going to have to see that over again.
Oh my God.
I know. All the clips. It's going to be one hell of a flashback, that's for damn sure. Potter drawing a rising wedge, not on my list. I didn't look at those. I only looked at the other one. Damn. What is that, a Kanga? A pouch cooler? Let me get that, dude. Don't send that to him. He don't deserve it. Save that for Monday. Family time. Oh, I got you. Yeah, if you don't mind clipping that, but he said, yeah, Chef, can you talk a little bit about getting out of an order? I keep holding on to hope for stocks, and I'm in equity still and scared to move to options till I stop holding hope for dumb shit. Oh
I still
man.
do that too, and I'm like a year in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, it was just kind of coming to terms that the market did not, and it was saying it in kind of harsh language to myself, or like reiterating that the market does not give a shit about anything. It doesn't care if I spent the last 3 months on the sidelines trying to recuperate, trying to get myself back up on, like trying to, get my head right. And I come back the first day and you might get fucking mollywopped. You know what I mean? Like just thinking that because it's your first, like if that's what you're thinking, that because that's the day that you're coming back with all these positive energy that the market gave it, it doesn't care. It didn't care if it's your last day on earth. It doesn't care if your child was just born. Only if you're known stop loss Steve. Sorry. A little too soon maybe. But straight up, so I think just, for me, I also have a not so quiet disdain for the majority of corporations that exist on this planet. And so my thing is like, I'm sure you guys can hear it when I talk about them, but I personally just think, fuck them. If I'm in this for a strategic reason only, not because I believe in this company, but because I believe in the chart. And that is alone the only thing that I truly care about. And the more I attach myself to my charts, and the more that I can accept that sometimes I'm going to lose, which is also part of it, is like, if you have a tough time accepting losses and stopping out, you're a human, you're probably competitive, and you probably don't like to lose. And that served you well, I'm sure, in other places, but not here. Right? That maybe that attitude of, I don't want to lose, that's good, but I'm not going to, you're gonna lose. And the more that you're okay with doing that and just saying, that's a part of this business, that's a part of this shit, right? Whether it's equity, because with equity, I don't hold dumb shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've had a lot of luck over the last couple of years where I bought a lot of things and they've not gone red. you know, if immediately or if at all, just because of where I buy stuff. So I think also having a clear understanding of my strategy and knowing where you're buying and why and where that relates to your stop loss. Because if you know or you believe in what I'm teaching, right? If you believe in what and I don't, let me rephrase that. Not believe in what I'm teaching, but believe in what you're seeing, right? Because I feel like I try to do a good job of showing you in action, right? Like how these things play out, how they're, if this, then that, and then watch that work. And so the more that you see that, the more that you on your own see that, the more your confidence you have in this system and the less that you have in your hope, right? So if you think of it more as a system that doesn't care about your hope, it eats hope up. Actually, I would say that the system is the machine eats hope. That might be one of its fuel sources, fear and hope. That's crazy, isn't it? It just eats both of them. So, yeah.
That's his level up, Gems.
Yeah, I don't like to let it go, but when it goes below my buy point, when I get into hope, I rebound. See, and it's those those couple times, like it does bounce back, that'll have you convinced that that's what you have to do every time. And I know that for some people, they're okay. Like there are some investments that I've had that went red and I could see the opportunity to like still hold or maybe, hedge around it or, there's some things that I'm willing to, bend it a little bit so that way, it works out in my favor as much as possible. But there's some things that I just have to accept. I mean, I didn't want to have to accept that I had to get out of ELF the last time. I mean, was it in profit? Yes, but still, it's not what I wanted. But yeah,
Looks
guys.
pretty good this time.
Oh, it looked well. I mean, it's not like last time didn't go well. I mean, last time it was the last part of the position that I was, kind of thirsty
I think we
over.
closed out of that channel today, no? A little bit.
If you have hope, not me though. No hope out here in these wastelands. Sorry. Death can have me when it earns me. My
No
stop
happiness around here.
My stop loss can have me when it earns me. I gotta stop. I just had a whole half espresso. I feel like I just started my day over.
Yeah, dude, you're nuts.
We
Who
can
drinks
tell,
espresso at fucking 4:30?
I bet you Italian people do. I can't speak on that because I don't know any, but
That's right.
I'm
You should-
Italian.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't do that.
No, LB, and he's got the accent, dude. I'm believing him
man,
first.
We do espresso. I had one.
Wait.
I had espresso martinis till 10
Hold
o'clock
on.
last night.
Hold on, I need to pause the chat because I wasn't aware that Neil is all ethnicity. You said this morning. Hold on. I thought you were Indian. This morning you said you were Asian. But you're Italian?
Who are you talking about? Me?
No, it was Neil. Right?
Oh, I don't know about Neil. This is LB, man. I'm Italian, bro.
Oh, yeah, no questions on that, dude. No questions.
Que cosa?
Did Neil just go radio? Did I just?
Blood espresso.
I think Neil was a massage agent here. I just said that and he disappeared. He's gone.
Yeah, he didn't like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Neil is non-binary.
I hope he wasn't married to an Italian back in the day or something.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Hey, thanks for hanging around. I enjoyed this. I just left the hospital visiting my mom.
Oh man, I hope Mom's is all right.
How's Mama doing?
Mom's is great, man. Jefferson Hospital here. They did she had a stroke back in September. They had to do a craniotomy to save her life. Take
Lord have
a
mercy.
piece of her skull out. And yesterday they put the skull back. It's crazy.
Damn, they put the skull back.
Yes. Hey, she looks great. I mean, you got to see this woman. 85.
Wow. Wow. Damn.
Old Italian woman, bro.
It's an old Italian one. That's right. Soldiers, dude. All right. Yeah. Making sure I didn't miss anything here. All right. Cool. I will. It's a long weekend. We also are going into earnings season, so make sure you guys have your alert set in the Discord. I'll post when we're gonna go live. Obviously we don't need to do it on Sunday, but we could use Sunday, maybe midday, something chill. Well, nothing big deal. Grab a drink, or an espresso, and we'll see if we can't make our way through chart earnings. My goal would just be make a pile of empty space charts and throw the rest in the trash. See if we can find some gems going into this earnings season. Finally dust off this fucking small account. But I hope you guys had a good week.
Disney time.
Yeah, it is. Elf looks great. I mean, as far as it looks good. It's still got a lot to work through, but it looks good. But all right, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching, listening. TikTok, YouTube, everybody. I'll see you guys this weekend. Peace.
Everybody have a good weekend.
Take it easy, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
I want